Hi, welcome to the Applaa podcast, episode one. This is Raj Muppala, co-founder of Applaa, and we are UK-based founders here. And we've seen a lot of interest in the UK, and also the trend is happening a lot in AI and is shifting globally. And we want to discuss really about how AI is changing education, work, businesses, and careers around the world. And specifically today, we want to focus on India, a growing market wherein, as we all know, India has got a major youth and teens and student population, and obviously millions of engineering students get out of the colleges each year, and obviously India is now becoming a major AI market. And we see huge investments in AI coming in India, especially Google and Microsoft invested billions of dollars in infrastructure and data centers. And there's strong signals of how AI can be useful for the teens and youth in the future economy of the jobs. Today, I'm joined by my co-founder, Rahul Bachina, and also our special guest, Tina, a business entrepreneur and author, to discuss about how students and teens can use AI as a companion and assistant to help them better in what they're doing. Tina, we are very glad to have you today, and it will be great if
Thank you.
briefly. Thank you.
So, as you said, I'm Tina Maia. I am the CEO of Chocolate Commerce. In that part of my world, I help retailers, global retailers, to understand and adapt to AI and implement it into their e-commerce operations. And this topic is particularly interesting to me and something that I live my life around as a mum of two children of very different ages growing up in the AI world, and something that, I myself have had to really sort of learn, adapt to, and implement into my life, whether it's into my business world or my creative world as a writer and as a mother to help my children to adapt to it in this changing environment.
Thank you, Tina, for joining us today and also sharing your thoughts as well. Rahul, if you can also briefly introduce yourself, that'd be great. Rahul is the co-founder of Applaa. It'll be great, Rahul, if you can share a few words, and we'll get
Yeah,
right.
myself, Rahul. I'm the co-founder of Applaa, and we actively involved and developing Applaa from almost 5 months, and mainly we are focusing towards UK and Indian markets because India is very strong in STEM, and the students coming out from engineering colleges and all, and are running behind the career. So we felt like if you give the AI early, so they can able to compete with their counterparts
Yes.
and be real experts in AI. As Raj mentioned, the Google invested $15 billion in Vizag, which is in southern part of India, and you can imagine how much workforce they need in coming years, maybe 4 or 5 years. But we need to target that workforce from early stages like year 6, year 7 onwards. So at least they will be competent in coming few years. Yeah.
Thank you, Rahul, for sharing that insights. I think that's really insightful for people to know as well. So I think there's a lot of interesting things to talk about today. I think I will really talk about the core areas of how the youth and teens can able to use AI to get ready. I think that's a kind of hot topic for most kids and also most parents also around the world. So that with that in mind, so I'll start with a few important things that maybe Tina, yourself, and also Rahul can able to share your perspective as well, right? I think let's start with the most important thing. We talked about India, right? UK and India's global AI opportunity, and we've seen a lot of investments happening in AI cloud infrastructure, and India is moving rapidly, and also there are kind of collaborations with the UK. And as an entrepreneur, we can see that okay, this is really useful for many students and teens to get ready for the future skills of AI. So Tina, maybe from your perspective, it'll be great if you can share, how you see AI shaping, bigger economies like India, and also, things like, where you see your insights. But that will be great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, AI is the biggest shakeup in industry since the invention of the internet, really. So we haven't seen anything like this since the mid 90s, and in some ways, it's going to go beyond what we saw with that evolution. What we haven't seen evolved, certainly in the UK, and I assume it's similar in India, is the school curriculum, which hasn't actually really changed very much since I was at school in the 80s and 90s. So I think that tools like Applaa and parents and schools being able to bring that integration of AI from the outside to help this new generation to adapt it. Not just it's not just about them becoming data scientists. Anything that they do and the choices that they make and how they move into the world is going to be influenced by AI, and that isn't being helped. They're not being helped through the national curriculum. So it has to be these sort of outside tools that are able to help them to understand AI and bring it into just their everyday world and what they plan to go and do, and understand how to use it as an assistant, as a tool, in order to help them to do whatever they want to do, whether it's creative or whether it's trade, or whether they want to go and become a data scientist or go into law or ethics or anything else. AI is going to be a part of that.
This is brilliant, Tina, for sure. You come from a business background, and also you've seen how businesses have transformed for the last 15, 20 years. And obviously, AI is a significant driver now, right? In every part of the businesses, and also like education and industries, and it's just impacting everywhere. And that's one of our core mission also, that how we can enable the young generation with the things ready for the future, which is obviously using AI in coding basics, and not only that, but also looking at as a personalized learning guide, a companion for them in a day-to-day like practice of subjects, academics. I think the whole thing Rahul talked about, the STEM education, because you have schools, you go to school. The problem is there is limited in terms of what you can learn, the same exams, and but still AI can be the assistant for you. You can actually help you to deep dive on topics, and also help you basics with coding, how actually things work, and also some of the parts in creative thinking, also like adding some as a companion for you, right? Rahul, if you can also add some things, also an example from the perspective of how an example tools like Applaa, and when we develop, how it can help them to get on early without a lot of people are worried about I don't know coding, I'm too early. How do you break
Yeah.
the barriers, right? That will be really great to share your perspective, how easy it is, how fun it is,
Yeah.
and that will be great if you can share this.
See,
Yeah.
yeah, basically, if you see the AI happenings, if you see everywhere, AI is fast moving. Like 1 year of updates you are getting in a week. If you see the Google AI, 2 days back Google I/O, everything is AI. Google, kind of became like a fully AI company.
Yeah.
And if you think about the kids, they know ChatGPT and maybe a little bit of Claude, but they really don't know how to really apply that to their, their learning. Yeah. So, Applaa's main goal is to learning, and after that, with that learning knowledge, they can able to build some simple tools like web applications, games, and all. And mainly, if you see the AI Academy, so it is all about teaching them basics, right? So, what is HTML? What is CSS? Those things. Without that knowledge, what you ask AI? AI can build great things. AI can code and build web application, games, everything. But you need to ask, right questions, right? Without right asking, build me a game. What it will build? So you need to say
Yeah.
game mechanics and website header, footer, left navigation. Apply some style sheet, so something like that, right? You if you know the knowledge, you can ask right questions,
Yes.
right? So let us assume I am a developer, I can build a web application. If somebody who are not technical, they can't ask the coding question, right? Like build a website using PHP, yeah, build
Yeah.
a game using Phaser, yeah, framework. So you need to at least know the terminologies and little bit of basics. Then only you can ask the right questions. So that's where Applaa come into picture, and teaching AI basics. I mean language basics, you can say, Python basics and all, so
Yeah.
that they can ask the right questions and they can play. They can build simple programs
Nice.
just to get started. After that, they can build things. Yeah, with that knowledge.
That
So yeah, that's where we have these learn, build, and after building, what they do with that particular build, they
yeah.
can able to earn money using that, right? Send your recipes website to the world, and everybody like your website, and you earn money.
Yeah.
So you need to feed this kind of earning methodologies to kids, like from day one. Then by the time they go to the colleges and all, they keep thinking about how they can make their website, which can
Yeah.
earn. Yeah. So that's our main focus areas, three things. Yeah. So that's where, Apply is completely focused to make them, a complete,
Uh,
end-to-end person.
that's great.
I
Tina,
think
sorry, can I
prompts,
jump in? Yeah.
AI prompting should be a whole GCSE subject in itself, because people that know how to prompt AI are people who know how to make money from AI. And that's really going to be a differentiator between people. I would say that also, if you just look at, I have a 17-year-old and I have an 8-year-old. And my
Yeah.
8-year-old, sorry, 9, she's 9 now. And she has grown up completely within AI. I remember when she was 2, she would sit there and have conversations with Alexa. Yeah. She's never known a non-AI world. Whereas my 17-year-old is in that gap where AI came into his atmosphere later. So it wasn't as native in him. And the way that they interact with AI is quite different.
Yeah.
My daughter, the
Exactly.
9-year-old, she's absorbed. She's absorbed, whereas my son adapts.
Yeah.
So there's differences in the different sort of ages and whether they're junior school age right now or school, either GCSE college age of how that's sort of introduced to them. But absolutely, I think that you're spot on with AI is as effective as what you feed it, right? So if you're not asking the right questions, you're not going to get the right answers. And a lot of people are sort of scared of AI, or they say, "Oh no, it's rubbish, it's slop," because it is. If you feed it slop, it's going to give you back slop. And this is something that really needs to be taught. Like I said, as a subject in itself.
That's really great point,
Exactly.
Tina, right? Like exactly, like it is affecting every walk of life, and also like even from young age, like an example, like you said, as early as like 8 years old. And our kids also are the similar ages as well. And obviously the way they consume information with AI is very natural to them. And I think this
Mhm.
is where we feel that, it's not about, okay, you will start, coding or anything at 20 years old or anything. Now, as Rahul pointed out, it's better to actually have some really good foundation basics, because you need to
Mhm.
understand what it is built of, what the website is built of, what an application has, like an example, a database, a user experience, UI screens, because you need to understand the basic, then you can ask the right prompting to AI, do this. Otherwise, if you just expect everything AI to do it, then you're not getting a good product, is it?
Right.
So this is also, I feel that, okay, this is a perfect opportunity for people, for especially the young kids, not to fear about AI. It's too complex, too big. Just start with, as a companion, right? So an example, how it can able to use your, studies. An example to English,
Mhm.
like vocabulary, catch up, or maybe math, simple math. Just as an assistant, okay, because those questions you won't ask at school, right?
Right.
And you can able to ask as a personal friend, like,
Mhm.
that's what I think in Applaa we have our assistant. Actually, it's like a personalized, will learn everything. It is very, very, personal, good friend to you. You can ask anything. I'm not good at, math, maybe divisions, right? Can you explain how these concepts work? And then maybe
Yeah.
able to build their confidence, and actually they can able to go on to, like, as they go, a little bit more with ages, they can learn about, what is database, what is a Python, so that you can able to understand all the building blocks in creating the applications, right?
I think it's important also that schools, parents in particular, have this huge fear of AI. They see it as cheating. Yeah, well, no, I don't want my child to use AI. That's cheating. They won't learn. they absolutely will, and that's how they need to learn and what they need to be learning.
Yes.
And like say, using AI as a tutor, I think is invaluable because just being able to, I was having a conversation that I was dreadful at maths, absolutely terrible at maths. And I went on a 3 week intensive course before my GCSEs, and they just teach you formula, 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 formula as rote. I went into the exam, I passed. And as soon as I went out, those formulas that had been bashed into my head for 3 weeks, they went away, and I'm still terrible at maths. Whereas if you've got this tool where you can ask and have things explained to you, where you don't feel stupid asking in class when other people just get it because they're really good at maths and you're not, that's just not the way your brain works. But then you've got something that will break it down and simplify it and make you and help you to understand it, then that's far more valuable for learning than just going and learning it rote so you can go into an exam and pass it without ever really understanding it. I don't to this day really understand maths, but my children can because they can go and they can use AI as an instructor, so that it's like, nope, I still don't get it. I don't understand why does it, why is that the answer?
Yeah.
And then being able to use that and adapt it to different questions and different situations. And it's not cheating, it's innocent.
Oh,
It's
that's
actual.
amazing. Yeah, that's really amazing, right? I think that the whole message is like use AI as a companion, not a shortcut. It actually helps you the best way, whatever you have, I think, right? And that's really, really great. Rahul, obviously, you can also add your light on maybe an example, especially we talk
Yeah,
India, right? And a lot of engineering students, a lot of students like after 18 or something, they go to colleges, they think, okay, I will study at the last year. What do you think, how they can able to use their early, years to start foundation first, and then they can able to expand on what some of the practical things, what they can do, like,
yeah.
will be great.
Yeah, basically, but if you think about India, Indian education, right? You and me came from there, and Indian education is more focused on theoretical things rather than, even though if they have Python, they may not finish the lucky number and, some prime number and all, not really, building a program or something. So, with Appla sitting in their, laptop, so they can able to, what you say, when you are teaching, if gamified learning, yeah,
Yeah.
is a motivational thing rather than, simply sitting and writing on the board and saying, read it. Yeah. So Applause main intention with basics is gamified and, with funny emojis and all, just to motivate them rather than, saying them learn it. Yeah. So that's one thing. And also I want to point this one. Basically, nowadays, from almost 1 year, I'm getting calls from my Indian friends, right? A lot of my childhood friends are still living in India. They're calling me and asking me like, okay, we are now worried about AI is taking the jobs. Yeah, because they are hearing Oracle, fired 30K people, something like this, right? So they're worried about their kids as well, right?
Yeah.
Oh, once this guy go after college into the job world, how they will survive? What they need to learn from now, what course they are asking. So then, you and me, Raj, realized, okay, we need to give something. At
Yes.
least, it helps to starting with our kids, right? We both have two boys, so at least we thought, okay, at least this tool can help them,
Yes.
learn the things in a fun way, basic things in a fun way, and build things with the whatever they are learning. Build a snake game, yeah, or build a recipe web app. So
Yeah.
something like that. That's where it is all started, and I think the same applicable to every single kid in this world. I feel they need to learn in a fun way, in a gamified way,
Hmm.
because you believe or not, they love games and they learn from games, right? They complete 30 levels within half an hour. If you give the textbook, they can't even finish one page, in that
Yeah.
half an hour, right? So that's the way of learning. So that's what we integrated in Appla. So fun way, gamified way of learning, gamified way of building, and of course, end product is earning, right? So that's what Appla all about.
No, this is really great, Rahul, for adding the perspective for obviously the technology side of it. That's great. I think you touched base very important point about jobs, placements, and future careers. I think, right, for sure, that's really good. I think I'll also get Tina to add her perspective. Just add something. Yes, there is a lot of panic in the market now that okay, a lot of people losing jobs and displacement of jobs with things. I feel that it just came off all of a sudden and because it just like it's very difficult to react to, right? I think like if you look at 10 15 years ago when the ATMs came in, a lot of people thought okay, people there'll be no bank jobs. I think for AI the wave was so fast and then people could not able to have the time to catch up, right? But for sure, and there'll be new jobs created for sure. And also there, this is where I think a lot of people are fearful as well, what skills they need to be learning. But at least one thing I can confidently at least tell is that whatever you do, you need to have a foundation of, wherever you're doing an example. If it's art, you need to have a good foundation in art and music and those areas. And if it's a technology STEM level thing, you need to have a good foundation of some, the programming world, what's happening, how to use AI. I think rather than you being like, a hardcore developer, but I think the key thing is about how to use AI to make it easy for you. I think these are the kind of more important things in the future, right? Because you don't perhaps do, like 10,000 lines of code. You might just architect the solution. You have a good foundation and also let AI to build that for you. I think these
Yeah.
are the kind of new things happening in life. For that, you need to have foundation. You can't just expect AI to do all for you, right? I think this is my perspective. Maybe Tina, if you can add also some of the thing from your side and other creative side, how it will be helpful.
I would say that this has been an ongoing thing since the Industrial Revolution, since the Luddites, right? There's always something that comes along, and yeah, jobs do get lost. Whether it was the cottage industries and people sort of making
Yeah.
things, and then it going out to factories. Yes, people lost jobs due to factories. Yeah, the cartoonist lost jobs to the graphic designer. Yeah, throughout history, with every evolution, jobs are lost, and then others are gained, created. I don't think that sitting here in 2026 we could even imagine what our young kids might be doing in 10, 15 years time, and what could be created out of this. And like I said, it happened with the internet. None of us would be sitting here
Yeah.
if everyone who naysayed about the internet, oh no, all the jobs are going to get lost, would have been right. They were wrong. Yes, those jobs were lost, but so much was created. And I think that what excites me about AI is the scope it gives to creativity, because AI can't replace creativity. It can't replace that talent. It can't replace lived experience. But what it can do is just make it quicker, easier to get to your goal without the niggly
True.
tasks that actually prevent a lot of people. Like I said, I in the process of having a book published right now, and what prevents a lot of people from getting their ideas published and getting out there is the niggly tasks, is the proofreading, is the editing, it's those things that sort of drag down the process. And I think that AI, is saying that, oh no, this has to be stopped. It's not going to be stopped.
Yeah.
It is going. And I like the analogy of, it's like crossing the Atlantic with a steamship with an aeroplane,
Yeah.
right? You get to your destination, you're going to have your experiences, and but the actual getting there
Yes.
is more efficient, it's quicker, and and yes, people need to be retrained and taught, and you have to go with it. But if you want to be a Luddite and just be like, oh no, 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 AI, terrible, horrible thing, I'm not having anything to do with it, then you're just going to get left behind. And yes, those are the people whose livelihoods, whose jobs, whose way of life is going to be disturbed the most. Those people who are like, okay, let's get on board.
True.
Where's this going? I'm on.
I think that's
Yeah,
pretty amazing.
we'll adapt the way that people always have adapted, and new exciting things will come out of it that we can't even imagine.
Yeah, I think that's really, really, very insightful for sure. Because I think this is has been happening, as you said, many ages. But this time, I think people are just looking at a mic, like a very mic, lens to see, just like different messages going around, right? I think the key message I can see from here is that use AI to your advantage as a companion, whether it's your creative writing or maybe academics or understanding, basic programming, how AI really works in. I think that will really help them boost their careers. Again, starting early is important rather than just waiting. Just start some base, just ask
Mhm.
AI to explain a topic like math, like you said, or maybe science, or maybe it could be what is programming, what is a database, right? I think if you start using that, I think people will have the confidence, and like you said, parents will also be encouraged to see how people are making progress. Because from our experience, we all have kids, right? We see in the UK at least, our kids are using AI as a everyday tool. Just go to tools and then finding out, I have an assignment, can able to make it, questions, quizzes. I think this is very important as in their part of life, right? As it wasn't the case,
Yeah.
10, 15 years ago. You can
Let,
No.
let me
add some.
add one funny thing. Basically, my little one passed his black belt, karate black belt recently,
Nice.
and before going to the actual test day, he was asking, now ChatGPT can give you images, right? So he was asking, I don't know the names of that moves and all, but he was saying that move, and he was using my account anyway. He was asking that, and it is giving an image saying that put the left hand front, those kind of proper images, like they are not graphic, but proper person, AI
That's
created person showing, put like this block, kick, something like that, right? So
Yeah.
he used that, and literally, I think he told me it helped him, right? To store in his brain and perform the act for
Yeah.
4 hours, right? 4 hours they need to perform.
fantastic.
Yeah.
That's a
No, it's
great
it's
achievement.
amazing. It's amazing. I love that. And it is just
Yeah, yeah,
incredible how these kids are just, like I said, they're absorbed in it. It's part of their,
yeah. The
it's
world.
just so normal for them
Yes.
to, that's,
Yeah,
yeah, that's what they do and that's how they learn. And that's their initial, like, yeah, my daughter would immediately be, oh, well, just, I don't know something. I'll just ask Siri. Yeah,
Yeah.
just,
yeah, yeah,
That's
she
how
knows.
grown up, right? Yeah. Yeah. That's very practical and also useful. Like, I think I'm sure, it's been helpful to many people across the world in many, many things like this. I think, that's really been part of their lives, I think, which is really good, right?
Yeah. And I think that a lot of people, for those sort of held back from it, a lot of the parents, a lot of the teachers who are scared of AI are actually still quite ignorant as to how much of their life is already AI. Yeah,
true.
just down to, yeah, they don't necessarily understand. They think that AI is ChatGPT, it's Claude, it's Grok, but they don't understand that it's everywhere. It's Google. It's, yeah, as you say, Google's almost 100% AI. Amazon, yeah, everything
It's,
is
yeah.
AI now. Everything that's machine learning is AI, and you know, and
No.
they use it all the time, every day, and they don't even realize it. And that's what's quite crazy.
No, you don't get
But the
it.
kids, they use it. They know they're part of it. That's who they are. And I think they're going to take it and they're going to do amazing things. And tools like, yeah, Applaa are just amazing because they can really help them to integrate it in a conscious way. Like you said, by gamifying it, by making them say, okay, I can actually do this. I can program this. I can create worlds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One,
in a fun way.
Yeah.
yeah. One last thing I want to point out based on security, right? Parents may be worried about the security using general AI, right? If you go
Hmm.
and start using ChatGPT, you can ask all, adult questions and all, right? Kids,
Yeah,
but Appla, we are fully focused on kids, teens, and youth, right? So we are security focused, and this is a desktop tool. So there is a lot of control to the parents, what they are asking, all those things. So
yeah,
we take security very seriously into Appla from day one itself.
That's a
that's
really good
amazing.
point,
That's very important to a lot of parents as well. Yeah, so.
Also, that's a really, really good point because all the data whatever the kids are using, we don't use that for training. It just all personalized. Everything is
Hmm.
locally on their PC or a Mac. So we never have, we don't even look at what's happening, like unlike chat GPTs and everything. So which is also an important thing. I think one key thing I wanted to leave out is that obviously we've seen a lot of kids across the world, especially UK in our own with our own kids now, the adaptation is very coming very fast. Example, the way
Hmm.
they're using, AI and coding, especially in our kids also, we've been helping them. That's what I think our mission in with Apply is really about. How do we encourage millions of students across the world to get using AI in to make them better? Whatever they can use it for academics, coding, programming. It is not that complex. If you have some really good foundation, that's how I think we structured everything nicely with the fun-based, simple lessons, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, within a month, they can able to understand a good foundation about, how the web works, how the Python works. That actually will give them a lot of confidence when they go to the higher schools, like example, engineering, maybe like practicing more and also career interviews. And you can be from a very basic level all the way to expert level. An example, however you want to do it. We have our own playground, like coding playground, they can just practice everything because we wanted to make, like Rahul said, gamification. Again, we want to empower every kid around the world to have this as a companion, and they can
Hmm.
take practically responsibility for their own needs, right? That's exactly what we're doing. And also for most of the students, we're offering a very longer free access so that they don't need to have this barrier of, what's the cost, like, £20 for chat gpt. We're offering a longer free access for all students and teens because we want to empower, millions of students to, and also kids to really just get on with it and, make them as a companion and help them as well. I think with that, right, maybe Rahul, you want to add any final thoughts, or Tina? And it's been great.
Yeah, one last thing, I want to say about Applaa because right, this is just started to for our kids. So you can imagine, how we think, while developing, because it should really help the kid. Otherwise, it will be another AI tool, right? So we don't want to be like that. So this tool should take their hand and teach them basics, show them how to build, and show them how to go to market and win. Yeah, that's the 3 point motto. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Raj.
Yeah.
Any closing comments?
Yeah, no, I think that, yeah, as much as the kids, I think that a lot of the adults need the help.
Thank you.
It's the dinosaurs like us, right?
That,
Um,
this is really amazing.
yeah, it's I think that the kids have probably got it down better than we have, but in all seriousness, I think that it's a wonderful tool, and I think the point was really well made about security, which is probably the biggest fear that parents have about children implementing AI is having that security, not being able to enter God knows what.
This is really,
What
really
terrible things are out there. So, yeah, just to give them that access, to give them that creativity, whether, my daughter's very into fashion design.
So thank you so much, Tina, and also Rahul, for sharing your insights today. I hope this is really, really useful for every student and teens across the world, and especially for the people in a bigger economy in India. This is really impactful for you as well to step up and actually see the best. And also that's why we're offering a lot of things with Appla. Please sign up, and also it's free for you also as well for now. So please just get on with it and just see the best way how it can help. Thank you, both of you, and thanks.
Thanks for
Thank you.
having me.
Thank you all.
Thank you,
See you
Tina.
again.
Thank you, Rahul. Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.